Hi, good afternoon. It is June 30th, the final day in the month of June, and thus the final day of Fidelity Month. I want to thank my dear friend, Professor Rabbi George, for the inspiration, wisdom, and insight to create a space, an acknowledgement in time of this virtue of fidelity, of faith to an ideal, faith to something that is good and true and noble and pure. There's a verse in the book of Psalms that I'm reminded of. This past week I've been teaching at Princeton University, a group of wonderful students, young Jewish men and women from across the country. And one of the units in our seminar on Judaism and the contemporary crisis of the West, we did a reading from C.S. Lewis from his incredibly powerful volume, The Abolition of Man, the first chapter, Men Without Chests. And there, towards the end of that chapter, he's assembling all the different traditions across the world, Western and Eastern, that give expression to the theory of objective value, the Tao, that wonderful, eternal, natural principle in the universe that creates moral order or reflects moral order, expresses moral order. And he quotes the Psalms, Psalm 119, that the mitzvosecha, God's commands, are emet, are truthful. And Lewis points out that truthful here can mean really two things. Truthful, it can correspond, the Torah, the commandments can correspond to some reality of truth and some moral norm that exists at all times and in all places. But Torah can be truthful not just in that epistemological sense, in that it corresponds to reality, but also in a different sense, in the sense that it is trustworthy, it's faithful, it reflects the world in a certain way, and one can count on it. Its truthfulness is akin to a kind of faithfulness or trustworthiness. And that's really, I think, the sense of Fidelity Month that I want to focus on this very last day of Fidelity Month, that we, as people who live and strive and work in the West, can feel faithful to these principles of truth and goodness and beauty, and that we believe these principles can take care of us as well. They're faithful to us in that they can be counted on, they can be relied on. Even in a world of chaos and confusion, these truths are there if only you seek them and only you uncover them. So that's my hope and prayer and blessing, that this year Fidelity Month can reflect both truthfulness in a sense of corresponding to reality and a sense of faithfulness, that this community that Rabbi has created can be there for one another through all the ups and downs and vicissitudes of our life. Thank you so much, and God bless.